How's it going, guys? Got another land battle replay for you. This time it'll be Lamb Sauce King on the Empire up against Coops on the Dark Elves. I know, more Empire. I'm sorry, guys, but it's kind of gonna be like what it's gonna be like for a while. Unless you guys want to see dwarves. There's just so many Empire replays out there. I'm actually kind of begging for anything that isn't Empire at the moment, as much as I love the Empire. But nonetheless, Balthazar Gelt on his Pegasus with Plague of Rust and Glittering Robe. For the front line, we're going to have a bunch of Flagellants, Knights of the Black Rose as well. 3 in total, I believe, yes. And 3 Outriders, 2 on one flank and 1 on the other. Actually, it's 4 Knights of the Black Rose. And then we also have the Hammer of the Witches to be dealing with any, Cold One Dread Knights, Cold One Knights in general. Maybe even Dragon, Sorcerer on a Dragon. But, of course, Dark Elves and High Elves will be bringing any Bolt Throwers to deal with your poor little Hammer of the Witches. Flagellants, interesting to see, but they should pretty much wreck any Bleak Swords, I believe. You're not going to expect a lot of heavy infantry from the Dark Elves. And even with the Black Ark Corsairs, I think they should do okay into, though Black Ark Corsairs do have bonus for infantry, so... But again, Flagellants do have a decent amount of AP to help with that armor. 9, which isn't too shabby. And of course, they also have Fizz Res and melee defense, so for that buff. For the Dark Elf side, we do have a Supreme Sorceress on Black Dragon with Soul Stealer. No surprise, Opal Amulet. And a Kanite Assassin, really? Oh, with Web of Shadows, huh? What is this? I don't recall this ever being a thing. But, we'll see how it does. Minus 25% speed and basically another AoE spell, I'm assuming. Yeah. Assassin's Trophy as well, basically just like the Skaven one on the Skaven Assassins. So I guess to deal with any possible Bruckner that comes along, I'm not sure. But Black Ark Corsairs, along with Bleak Swords, will be the infantry. Cold One Dread Knights on both flanks, and 3 Reaper Bolt Throwers to be dealing with any cannons, and as well as any ranged from the Empire side. Oh, also I forgot the Crows of Cain. But let's speed it up a little bit. We're going to get the Reaper Bolt Throwers just getting some shots into the Flagellants, doing okay. Not too bad. On the right half flank, we are going to get the Outriders shooting some volleys into the Cold One Dread Knights. Wow, that is a tremendous amount of damage down to 45 models. Doing a lot of HP damage, not a lot of model killing. Though, which is obviously fantastic because there's no healing that the Dark Elves are going to have to heal up those very, very expensive units of Cav. Legends get in on the front line and start engaging. Crows of Cain are getting butchered by Outriders, and the Knights of the Black Rose are there to defend them as well. Though they're going to run over and get on top of those Outriders no matter what. We're going to have a Glittering Robe giving them 60 armor. Not bad. Not bad. I mean, considering Black Ark Corsairs and Bleak Swords do not have great AP, that should help out a lot. Cold One Dread Knights are also getting Plague of Rusted. Minus 60 armor down to 60. Wow. Plus, it was a Web of Shadows on top of these Knights of the Black Rose. Surprised about this 2-on-1 engagement. I would probably pull one out, get them on top of the Reaper Bolt Throwers who are just screening out the Outriders. Though, obviously, it will take them a while, so maybe the Empire player doesn't really care too much and will let them fire for a little bit. Supreme Sorceress just running about, dropping any Soul Stealers, I believe. I haven't seen any. Well, what is the Hammer of the Witches shooting at right now? Hammer of the Witches right now is shooting at the Cold One Dread Knights, which is a pretty good target. They do have their flank exposed. The Cold One Dread Knights have engaged with these Knights of the Black Rose, but they are being shot in the flank by Outriders, and not only that, they are now being attacked by Balthazar Gelt, who we all know is a fantastic melee fighter. Supreme Sorceress coming over, dropping a big old Soul Stealer on these Outriders just to get them away. She doesn't really need the HP, but I mean, healing is healing, and getting those Outriders away from your very expensive units, though fairly late, is still helpful nonetheless. Plus, you know, they're going to be, once they get rid of their Cold One Dread Knights, they're going to be targeting the Supreme Sorceress. So, Flagellants get again another Glittering Robe, bringing them up to 60 armor, which is pretty great. I mean, it helps a lot with considering their melee defense stats are so terrible, down to 12, or rather, base of 12. Balthasar Gelt trying to get on these artillery, get them to stop shooting, but it honestly, I don't think it really matters too much. I mean, though they are, you know, screening off these Outriders a bit, it's starting to build up. These Outriders actually get on top of those, the Reaper Bolt throwers. I think there was maybe a breath attack there, and it just got cancelled. Reaper Bolt, Hammer Witch is still shooting at the Dread Knights. What's the value at right now? 900 value, not bad. Practically paid for itself. Almost. The Sorceress gets a breath attack on Balthasar, but it's not going to do a whole lot. Infantry engagement still went in the favor of the Dark Elf side, even after all those glittering robes. It's just how good Black Arc Corsairs are, and Bleak Swords aren't too shabby themselves. We're going to get a charge in from these Outriders. Going to do okay. They're not really built for charges like that. They have pitiful melee stats and don't have a lot of charge bonus at 12, so... But who do have a great charge bonus and great melee stats are the Knights of the Black Rose, and they are going to get a charge in on these Bleak Swords. Actually break both of these Bleak Swords with that double charge, and even hold back these Bleak Swords. Even hold back these Black Arc Corsairs, excuse me, I'm having trouble here. And they're going to hold them in place and do pretty good work against them, even with the Black Arc Corsairs armor. They're not going to enjoy just fighting this heavily armored cav. Outriders as well, just shooting into the backline of these Black Arc Corsairs, not helping either. What's the Cat Knight Assassin been up to? 31 kills, 771 value. What is this? Another Plague of Rust dropped on top of these Black Arc Corsairs, bringing them to 20 armor. Another noxious breath attack on Balthasar, but again, that's just not going to do a whole lot. Cat Knight Assassin is just being lit up right now. But he is, you know, he's chipping down on these Outriders, I suppose. Getting another shot in. What does that do? A little bit of damage. Not too bad. Also poisons them as well. But yeah, the Supreme Sorceress is just not really finding too much of a place here. 840 value. Not having a lot of great options for the Soul Stealers. And even then, I mean, even if they did get a good Soul Stealer on like these Knights of the Black Rose, there's just so many of them, 4 at the moment, plus the Outriders which she has to deal with as well. Gonna speed up a little bit as the Supreme Sorceress chases, and as these Cold One Dread Knights come back, who are gonna get butchered as soon as they even they start to get a little closer. First of all, they're gonna get volleyed by these Outriders, and then ran over by these Knights of the Black Rose. Cat Knight Assassin is trying his best. He's just taking a few pop shots here and there. Obviously, it helps a little bit. Being shot reduces their leadership by 5 from under missile fire, so it does help. Remember, the witches got routed off. I'm sure it was by the Supreme Sorceress. I kind of missed out on what it was. Another Soul Stealer dropped on top of Balthasar Gelt. Gonna help a lot. Balthasar Gelt obviously does not want to be engaged at all with the Supreme Sorceress, and he is kind of the key to the Empire's victory at the moment, as the Outriders kind of struggle with shooting the Supreme Sorceress. The dragon has both missile resistance of 25%, and not only that, she's just kind of really fast, 90 speed, but as you can see yourself, they're just not super accurate at shooting flying targets. Cat Knight Assassin might actually end up doing some decent work in these Knights of the Black Rose, but Plague of Rust is going to help out, and actually, yeah, no, the Knights of the Black Rose would eventually whittle him down, because that 51 melee defense and 120 armor, it's going to be tough for the Assassin, who has been dropped down to 0 armor with the Plague of Rust. So, rip him. Opal Amulet popped on the Supreme Sorceress as they get shot by the Outriders. But yeah, look how little damage it's doing, even without the Opal Amulet. It's just going to require her to get close for her to start taking a lot of damage. But either way, another Soul Stealer dropped Filling her up even more. She's going to catch those Outriders. Possibly terror route them. Who knows? We'll see. Yep, there we go. Terrified. His glittering robe could have saved them, but it was a little too late. Anyways, I do think this will be going in the Empire's favor, and there we go. Army losses for the Dark Elves. Good match there. Good attempt there by Coops to get that game back. I mean, as you can imagine, a sorceress on a black dragon, it can very easily turn most games. That's just how good they are. How did Gelt do? 104. He kind of just played a support role, so as you can imagine, didn't get a lot of value numerically. Knights of the Black Rose did fantastic. And to be fair, they didn't have a whole lot of counters. I don't know how they do into regular Cold War Knights. I can imagine they do okay. But I'd imagine the Cold War Knights eventually beat them. At least that's what I would expect with their AP and anti-large. So, but unfortunately, Coops did not bring any. So, Hammer of the Witches did okay. Outriders were the real breadwinners here. 1,900 value here on this one, 1,000 value on this one, and 700 on the other. Badlands did okay. They just had a lot to contend with. More infantry on the 1, 2, 3. Yeah. I'm embarrassing myself there because I don't know how to count. I'm not a visual counter. Yeah, the Dark Elves just had more infantry and better quality infantry. Legends are good, but Black Orc Corsairs will beat them. And again, Bleak Swords aren't too shabby either. 1,200 value on the Sorceress. Surprisingly low for the Sorceress on a Black Dragon, but again, she just didn't have that many great spots there. There were a few blobs to try to punish with Soul Stealers, like the one on that one occasion on the left flank of the, or rather on the right flank of the Dark Elves, when two Knights of the Black Rose were engaged with one Dread Knight. There could have been a moment there for a good Noxious Breath, maybe, or a good Soul Stealer plus a rear charge, but with all of these Outriders, and not only that, the Hammer of the Witches, that could have been. Coops had to make sure to pick the right moments, and it was just there was not very many right moments there. The Sorcerers could have been easily punished there at any moment, even with Soul Stealer. The Knights of the Black Rose have, of course, a lot of mass being Cav, and can trap up the Sorceress. So it's a lot easier said than done. But yeah, typically you're seeing her with like 3,000 value. That's just how freaking good she is. I mean, there's no surprise there why you only typically see them. It gets kind of stale, unfortunately, but that's just metas. But nonetheless, I'm just rambling. Everything else did inconsequential value, inconsequential. Kind of invested a lot in the bolt throwers. Probably, I guess, to deal with the snipers. I forgot what they're called. The better Giselles. I mean, to be fair, that's makes sense because that's a lot of what the Empire is bringing right now. So, aside from Knights of the Black Rose, those guys, and maybe Stanks, but I think Stanks are kind of limited. I think they're limited right now in land battles, and not only that, or rather in Vermin League, not only that, your opponent's gonna expect you to bring them. So obviously, Lambsdale Skiing brings something else. But yeah, they didn't have the right spots, and plus they kind of get outranged by the cannon, so can't really punish the cannon, unfortunately. 1,000 value on this Dread Knight. Obviously, they didn't really pay for themselves, but this one still did fine. If it wasn't for Gelt melting their armor, and then maybe it could have gone better. I wonder how that engagement would have gone without the support from Gelt. Obviously, they are being 2v1'd, but they are very, very elite cav, very heavy AP, and very strong. And obviously, the Knights of the Black Rose aren't damage dealers; they're holders, and more better versus infantry. So I just want to. I'm interested to see how that would go. And the Canada Assassin actually did fantastic, 1,000 value. I'm guessing it was from that item, which I've never seen before, or that ability, which I've never seen before. But obviously, it being an AOE damage target spell or ability, it did great. And it punished any blobs that Empire may have had. But yeah, cool tech by Coops and well played by both players. Love to see some Outrider action. Typically only see Hanadids bring Outriders. So cool to see him. I'll catch you guys next time with another one. Bye-bye.